Hi everyone. We are going to be continuing our lessons in writing. So we are halfway through officially. And then next week will be the last week that we're working on our writing specifically, and then we'll get into our content. So this week we're going to be going over how to write a thesis statement. So I know all of you are pretty familiar with what a thesis statement is, but I just want to make sure that we're all writing it uniformly. And I want to make sure that you have the proper skills to know that you're always answering the question whenever you write a thesis statement or claim. So you already know that a thesis statement just tells the reader what your essay is about. So if you don't have a thesis statement, your reader's not going to know what you're going to be writing about. Okay, so it always has to be really clear, and it always has to identify what exactly your argument is to your audience. Okay, so your thesis should be easy to pinpoint, and then from it, the audience should be able to gauge what you're about to write about. So there are specific formulas that we're going to be using for writing a thesis. So I'm going to show you three very basic structures on how your thesis statement should look like. So I'm going to start off with the one that we're going to be using the most, and that's called rate. Okay, so most of the essays that you're going to be writing, or just the exit tickets that you're going to be writing, are going to be in the form of argumentation. Okay, so because history is a lot of like corroboration and like telling me why you think this is true based on the evidence that you have, it is a lot of argumentation, which is why I'm going to start off with this, because it is going to be the most common type of question that you answer. So rate stands for restate, answer, three reasons, and extension. Okay, so we'll start off with the R. So when I say restate the prompt using exact wording, it just basically means that you're taking the words that are in the question and then you're using it to start off your sentence or your thesis statement. So for example, if the question is what is your favorite color, okay, me restating the prompt would be me saying my favorite color is. Okay, so I'm taking the words from the question and I'm using them to restate my answer. The next part is you answering the prompt in your own words. Okay, so I call this your because statement. All right, so if you're going to tell me that your favorite color is green, the next part, when you answer the prompt, it should tell me why. Okay, so it should be because. All right, so the way that this would look like is I restate. So my favorite color is, I restated the prompt, and now I answer the prompt. My favorite color is green because it is the prettiest color in the world. Okay, so there, I answered the prompt. My favorite color is green because it's the prettiest color in the world. The next part, so the T, is you give three reasons for why you answered the prompt that way. So in my case, it would be three reasons for why I think green is the best color of all time. So I could say, I don't know, like because it is the color of money, because all the trees are green and they give us oxygen. And I don't know. You can just make up the third one. So that's what it would look like. Okay. So the way that looks like so far is I restated the prompt. So my favorite color is green. And then I answered because it is the prettiest color of all time. And then my three reasons, which can be seen in the fact that money is green and trees are green and they provide oxygen, resulting in extension. So your extension is probably the most difficult part because it is the analysis part of your answer. So the extension requires you to be analytical, which basically means that you have to tell me why what you just said is important. Okay, so for example, like in the example that I'm using right now, again, it would be my favorite color is green because it is the prettiest color of all time, which can be seen in the fact that money is green and all of nature is green. And then extension. All right, so now I have to provide analysis of why that's important. So I could say which which has resulted in green essentially being the color of life because we need money to live. I don't know. And trees give us oxygen or whatever. So that's kind of like what it should look like, but I have a more specific example here. Okay? So the question here is, what makes you so amazing? So the first thing you should do is ask yourself, what kind of historical thinking scale are you being asked to use? And in this case, it's argumentation. So that means I have to make an argument about why I am so amazing. Okay? So my sample answer is, I am so amazing because, and again, that's my restatement, I am a positive influence to those around me. Okay? So I'm saying that I'm amazing. I'm answering the prompt because I'm a positive influence to those around me. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons as to why I'm a positive influence to those around me, which can be seen in my hard work, dedication, and successes. And then finally, my extension is going to be my analysis, resulting in my status as valedictorian. Okay, so this part right here is how I have, like, it's kind of like the impact, right? So, like, all of this has resulted in this. Okay, my status is valedictorian. So that is why I am so important or so amazing. My bad. So this is kind of like what all your answers should look like. And I know it seems like a little bit confusing right now, but I promise, like, once you start actually practicing, it isn't so hard. Okay, so we're gonna be doing a lot of this, obviously, in class. So the other 2 examples that I'm gonna go over are just they're really similar to using rate. It's basically like the same components. However, like when you're writing a thesis statement for compare and contrast or continuity and change over time, they do tend to look a little bit different. Okay, so but it's basically like it's the same thing as rate. It's just worded different. Okay, anyways, you'll see what I mean. So when you're comparing and contrasting, you would say, although blank, so whatever, is similar in that, and then you state the similarities, it or they are different because you state the differences, which has led to significance. So no matter what, you always have an extension. Okay, so for example, if I ask the question, what are the differences and similarities between Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios? And yes, I was eating Honey Nut Cheerios as I wrote this. Although Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios look the same, all right? So I'm stating my similarity. They both look the same, right? They're round. They have a little hole in the middle, look like tiny little donuts, and they're crunchy. Okay, so although Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios look the same, so my similarity is that they look the same. They are different in that Honey Nut Cheerios have more sugar and make the milk taste like heaven. Okay, so here I am telling you the difference. Okay, so my difference here is that I have, like, obviously Honey Nut Cheerios has more sugar and the milk tastes better because it has so much sugar. And then finally, here is my extension, which leads to it being far superior than the regular brand. All right, that's my analysis. So I'm telling you that because they have more sugar, which makes the milk taste good, it is the better brand than the regular Cheerios. Okay, so that is me answering a thesis statement using compare and contrast. Now, if I want to use continuity and change over time, it's again looks really, really similar to compare and contrast. So although whatever has changed, it has remained the same, which has led to, all right, blank has remained the same, which has led to blah, 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 blah. All right. So the way that looks like is, for example, I'm going to use my relationship with my mom. So how has your relationship with your mom changed over time? So although my mom has accepted the fact that I am a single mom, all right. So this is my change. Okay. So she has changed in that she finally accepts that I'm a single mom. She continues to believe, all right, so because I said continues, this is going to be my continuity. She continues to believe that I should try my best to lead a more religious life so that I can get into heaven, all right? So this is actually true. So that means that the continuity here is that she thinks that I need to be more religious so that I can get into heaven, okay? And then finally, my extension, which has led to many hostile comments on her behalf. All right, so this is like the effect of all of this. So she accepts the fact that I'm a single mom. All right, that's my change. My continuity is that she still thinks I need to be more religious. Okay, so but the effect of all this is that we still have like there's a lot of hostile comments on her behalf because I don't want to lead a religious life. So that's kind of sums up how we're going to be doing all of this. But I know this is going to seem a little bit like daunting and a little bit confusing maybe, but I promise that the more that we practice this, it's going to get significantly easier over time. Okay? And then in the beginning, since we are just like starting off this, I will be providing like all the sentence starters and everything that you might need in order to be able to write a good thesis statement. Okay. So that's it for now. Kept it short and sweet. So again, once again, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I'm here for you and anything that you might need. Okay. So I will see you all in class. Thank you.